Hey there, hi there, howdy. I'm Dan.
And I'm Can.
And this is a Candid Conversation. Look at that little giggle.
I kind of hit it in not very graceful way, so it was like a chunky sound rather than smooth.
Hey, it's not that smooth jazz. So, Candy.
Yes.
What are you bringing to the table?
I just want to talk
today?
about something, the conversation I had with
the first day of August.
Is it?
Yes.
Is that when this comes out?
It does.
Mm.
Trust me.
It's coming up. Well, it was interesting conversation. What?
Can you tell if my eyes are open or not?
Yes, I can see that your eyes are open.
I think I might have to get that surgery Sharpay's kit after a while where they have to cut back the skin.
It's like a hooded eyebrow, like a lot of people with this.
Yes. Anyways. You're having a conversation.
Oh, with our 15-year-old.
I'm
and
sorry.
He said he had it was profound for a 15-year-old. He said, we were talking about, because we've been having conversations with my family about, my parents are getting towards the end of, they're on their latter years for sure. And so we're having to make some decisions, especially for my dad as a family or, with my siblings. And I was kind of dealing with a text. And he said, what I think is I noticed that just the end and the beginning of life are very similar to each other. Like you need others to care for you and make decisions for you. Just like you did when you're a baby, you have the same thing when you're old, but in the middle, you don't. And he was like, and I was like, he goes, and it's kind of like a cycle. And I was like, it's the cycle of life. That's what it is. You kind of go in these loops. And what's interesting is we tend to think of life as though we're climbing some ladder, right? There's some prize at the end, but it's really a cycle. You end up right back where you started.
Yeah.
If you live long enough, right? And hopefully you don't need as much care as some, hopefully you don't have to, hopefully you're pretty healthy and but you never know really. And this can happen sooner rather than later, but I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. And I kind of just wanted to think about other, how life is kind of like a spiral. Yeah. It kind of spirals. So it doesn't look exactly the same. Old age.
Spirals down.
Well, spiral, but it can go up. A spiral could go up too.
Yeah. Depending on your perspective.
Depending on your perspective. Not necessarily a funnel, but you could flip a funnel up or you could flip it down. But it's spirally. It's cyclical. Even your years are cyclical. If you start to notice, like Christmas comes around every year and you kind of do the same things around in December. It looks different from year to year, but it has the same vibes and feelings to it, right? And, we grow our kids and we wait till we have these, we just think of this very linear thing. And I'm wondering if we thought of it more as a cycle, if it would change how we enjoy life in a way. Like you and I were in this stage where, we can come and go and do as we please, and we go on dates or we go do the things together or whatever. But there will come a time where that won't be the case anymore. Yeah. Like thinking about how that feels, you're going to kind of revert back to
dependence.
Yes. And we're feeling this independence. And I think if you thought about it that way, you might enjoy it a little bit more because it's not going to last forever.
Yeah. And learn to appreciate now because it's going to be a grim fucking idea.
It's all right. It's all right.
Because, you've asked me before, how would you feel if you started getting dementia and all this? And it just, from having independence and being able, and just seeing right now, the kids are older. We're not tied down to as much as we were 10 years ago, where, all right, if we want to go out, we only got 2 hours to go out. We have to have a babysitter. We have to have all this. Yeah. Now it's just like, hey, guys, we're out. There's some stuff in the fridge. Figure it out.
Yeah.
we're gone. And that usually doesn't work because they're like, we don't know what to make. We're not, all right, we're going to go to McDonald's. Give us $20. We have high hopes, but that gets chattered all the time. But you think about what we're getting now, and we're starting to get in that age of life where we're getting more and more independence again because the kids are more self-sustaining. So we can just pick up and do stuff. We can go.
It's almost like
hey,
when you become a teenager and you get a little more freedom from home. It's like we're kind of getting freedom again. You know what I'm saying? It is. There's another cycle right there. We're kind of on the back end of that journey.
So the grim part is then you're going to start losing that again. Mm-hmm. So you think about with your parents. Your dad got ill and he wasn't able to drive anymore, which meant because your mom never learned how to drive like mine. Now they were dependent on other people. If we want to go out, we have to have someone take us. Mm-hmm. And now we don't have that independence anymore. We're dependent on other people to provide transportation for us, mm-hmm. to provide all this other stuff for us and constantly concern and watch over us and all this. It seems like sad.
It does seem sad. And it makes me like go, I don't know if I want to grow old. If you think about it, like it's like I'm out.
This is where we do our pact.
I mean, I guess maybe this introduces a different subject that I wasn't thinking about, but I mean, it would be a candid conversation is how do you feel about like having a pill that they do have in some states where you can basically choose to end your life when you're on your terms.
Yeah.
In Christianity, that was a no.
Yeah, I can see some legitimacy to it. But it has to be, you have to reconcile it with everyone else around too. And
well, you don't, but you probably should.
You should.
Yeah. But, in our opinion.
I mean, I can understand terminally ill. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's a little more of a.
If you know you're going to die in a painful way, like I think that you should be able to make that decision.
Aging out of things. It's kind of a little selfish of, well, I don't get to drive anymore. And,
not at that stage. But let's say you're just spending your days like just sitting in front of a TV. That's all you do all day.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I guess you don't necessarily have to be that way unless you are like, you cannot get around. And then, I don't know. But it is something I think, especially if we don't, we're not in a place where we believe that there's this God that's going to judge. Yeah. That was bad or you're wrong.
Yeah.
So let's say nothing exists after. Well, then you should be able to take yourself out whenever you want, right?
Yeah.
And if something does exist, like reincarnation, well, then you'll just come back around, right? Yeah. And then if it's this God that will judge it, that would be the only hang up. But I just don't believe in
that's
that
still
God.
Kind of cruel.
Yeah, because sometimes people is just like it's
of that God to be like, no,
you should have endured.
Because there are some like your grandma. Mm-hmm. She was sharp up until the last day.
Yeah.
And she was able to get around.
She even knew when she was dying. She was like, I'm dying. I know that I'm dying. I can feel it.
And just, she was able to live life still. So, but there's some people that are, they just can't control things, bodily functions, and they can't wash themselves or, all this. It's like,
is that,
what's the quality here?
Yeah. Like quality of life. Is it, I feel like in Christianity, it's not quality of life. It's not, it's just life. Having life, right? So then they'll keep people in like a vegetative state on machines for forever.
In order to have a baby.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like use you as an incubator. Or we know people who were trying to force a family to keep someone who would definitely struggle to be trapped in a body that can't do anything. Mm-hmm. That would have been torture for that person.
Yeah.
But some people who believe in this God who, for some reason, like Christians, wouldn't it be better if they just broke free and went and lived in heaven?
But it speaks
the
to
way they think.
cruelty of this God that he's going to allow some people to be just, nope, you got to stay here. I haven't shut out the lights yet.
Yeah.
And your quality of life is just horrible.
Yeah. And we're not saying anybody who can't, like a paraplegic or a quadriplegic, their quality of life can be really good. It depends on the perspective of the person.
Yeah.
But if that person is just done and they don't want to try anything new and they're just done, like, should they have the say to end it themselves? Like, I don't know. Like, we don't say when we're coming in, we just kind of, as far as we know, someone else just brings us in, even though there is the view, like, I do kind of think that it might be true, but I don't know. Like, if reincarnation, we're kind of choosing to get into that body, right? To be born. But why can't we say that we have a say when we go out? Why are Christians, not just Christians, why are so many people opposed to even like, if you have a terminal illness, like you said, that's going to end in pain, like ALS. ALS looks like a horrible way to go.
Yeah. And
right? Why can't they choose that?
Selfishness of the others. I can't deal with this loss.
But what a more beautiful way to go out, like surrounded by family and friends, able to communicate with them to the last moments, Yeah,
but still, it's that selfishness of, no,
we don't want you to do it.
Yeah. And it's easy for them people to say that it's going to hurt so bad when you're gone. It's like, well, I'm hurting pretty bad right now. I don't want to be here.
Yeah, exactly.
So fuck y'all.
Yeah.
Why do you want me to suffer to make you feel better?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's something that should be on the table to be discussed. In some states, I think it is something that is allowed. But a lot of states, and it has to, obviously, you got to check for mental health because there's people that want to do that and they're just in a really bad space right that time. They need help, but then maybe if that was an option, they would at least start talking to somebody and you could have a mental health professional work with them and that would help them rather than there be this shame and they do it in secret.
Yeah. And that was part of the whole thing was that if it's going to be allowed, you have to have counseling beforehand.
Yeah.
Just to make sure it's not a psychological issue that we can work through.
Which in a lot of cases, that's what it would be. Yeah. Like even the fear of aging. Like, come on, you can age and feel it. And yes, it's uncomfortable because now you're not in the prime of life.
Yeah.
But there's still good things that you can experience.
It's unfair because you age like fine wine and I age like milk.
No, you don't. You have like no wrinkles. Except for the dent and the one.
I have one giant wrinkle.
You have this. You have the little butt between your eyebrows. See it? It looks like a little butt.
This one wrinkle keeps growing and growing and growing.
And then there's one wrinkle. And that's it. I got.
Yeah. But what about this?
Let's just point out I got gray hairs somewhere. There might be one or two. Okay.
So anyways.
We're aging graciously enough. Floppy docks.
It's not even a tangent I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
Stop. Oh, God.
Anyways, I think there's legitimacy to have the discussion about it. To see, could this be an option? Because there are some people that are just like, man, that's not good quality right there, and they probably admit it too. Excuse me. But yeah, the old cycle back to the original premise of things, you go back to it. But I mean, if you can be like your grandma or even my grandma that you knew, yeah, she had some dementia, but she wasn't suffering at the end. She was getting around doing things and living life. But
she was enjoying probably every day. It just was like brand new, like, whoa, what do we do? I don't know who I am or who you are, but we're having fun today.
But we've also known people that it's just they've been miserable at the end because everything's failing. and it's demeaning to them. It was like when we talked about, and you asked me, well, what do you think about if you started getting dementia? I'd be like, I would be miserable because I like my mind. I like to be able to use it, operate, and remember and go. And I get frustrated right now when I have the 50-year-old mind of, all right, I got to go do this. And I get to the room where I'm going to do it. I'm like, why the hell am I in this room now?
Yeah. But then the trick. Go outside the door and your subconscious will kind of kick it on and then walk through the door or walk back through the doorway you came out of, and it almost always works. It does. Have you ever tried that?
Yeah, it does.
It does work. What are you talking about? I think it works.
Once it's gone,
because I'll be like, oh, it's like the thought got dropped in that room.
Yeah. So
and then you're like, oh, here it is.
But so yeah, it'd be like I would not, but then again, I probably wouldn't realize a whole lot of it. I mean, we got someone running the country that's suffering from it, and he doesn't seem to mind.
He doesn't mind. He's fine with it. Everybody else is like, what is he saying? I don't know.
But, yeah, I think
that's true. You might not know if it was dementia. I think what would be, dementia, knowing you have it, like how my dad has even said, like, do you know how hard it is to like know that you're losing your mind?
Yeah.
Like, I think the knowing of that would be pretty tough. And I don't know that he talks like that as much anymore because it's more advanced.
More,
but yeah, so basically the whole point of this is life is in cycles.
So let's break the cycle and try to figure out how to live forever.
No. That's part of being on this planet. Everything is cyclical.
Yeah.
Right? Just keep that in mind as you're in the season of life. Like things will come back around. Balance will return, to something. If something is really extreme one way, it will swing back around because it's cyclical. Everything is cyclical. So even like the political upheaval and the political unrest, rest will return. I don't know when, but it will return at some
August,
point.
So we got hope.
I don't know if everybody knows what you're talking about there.
It doesn't matter. I know. That's all that matters.
If you know, you know. No. But yeah, so, and also it helps you kind of enjoy, like, I really want to enjoy where we're at because when you're a kid, you're constantly, when I was a kid, I was thinking of growing up, right? I was thinking of really growing up and living my life, whatever that looked like, but it was focused on marriage and children because that's what I was taught.
Family.
Right? Yeah. So I got there and then it was like, what do I have to look forward next? And what do we have to look forward to next and stuff? And so you don't really enjoy the moment. So it's like, when the kids are grown, that'll be great. You know what I'm saying? I know people who are working and they're just working, looking for retirement. They're not enjoying their life right now. They're just working for retirement. It's like, by the time you retire, you're going to be old and they're going to be able to enjoy the money that you had because you were so busy hoarding it up. And now, which it's fine because we have to save for our older years, but it's like, enjoy some life too, because
while you can.
Yeah, while you're physically able to do so.
Because we know people that are like, oh, no, we got to work. Got to go in and get all this money. So then when I retire, it's like, well.
Then I'll really start to live life. And it's like, will you though? You don't know what's going to happen in retirement either.
Yeah. When you're 65, 70 years old, are you going to look back and be like, man, I wish I would have done that when I was 50?
Yeah, because it's really hard to do at 70.
Yeah.
Or maybe I want to learn a skill and I would be much farther along in that skill had I started learning it at 50 or whatever. So just do the things and live in the moment a lot more because that moment's not going to last forever. Nothing is. So, as sad and it's depressing as that kind of sounds, it also sounds positive in a lot of areas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be like, I'm glad this isn't going to last forever. But there's also the moments that you would like to last forever, but neither of them last. And just enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Fleeting.
It's all fleeting.
Life is fleeting.
So have a lot more fun. Be a little more lighthearted about it. Don't take it so seriously, I guess. All that from a 15-year-old while he was making grilled cheese sandwiches.
And pissing you off a little later.
Pissed me off a few minutes later. So
that's
such
life
life
with a 50-year-old.
A 50-year-old and a 15-year-old.
That was pretty deep. You son of a bitch.
Yeah. What did you just say? All right. Okay. So
All right. So, yeah, go to danandcan.com. Check everything out that we have to offer. If you're on a podcast, give us 5 stars. Go up top, hit that little star. We'd appreciate it greatly. If you got a moment, leave a comment. We love hearing comments, and we do respond to comments.
We probably have some we need to respond to. Actually.
Usually on the site and then on video and podcast
Maybe
later.
sometimes, yeah.
If we remember. But we're old and we're losing our minds. But that'd be appreciated. And if you're on YouTube, hit that like, smash that subscribe. We'd appreciate that greatly. And just remember.
You always want to listen to us.
Circle of life.
Yeah, we'll leave you at that. The circle of life.
It's all there. Enjoy the part you're in right now.
Enjoy the ride.
Because you're never going to get it again.
No, it'll come back around again, just a very different way.
Yeah.
You'll be in diapers at the end and at the beginning. Just kidding. You don't have to be, but maybe.
Maybe.
It's okay if you are. Yeah. All right.
No
okay.
shame.
Bye.
Bye.